Are you a first responder or a first reactor? I'm willing to bet you're a first reactor, and I'm going to help you manage your reactivity to the world and circumstances by my own experience, and give you some tools and techniques that have helped me, that may be able to help you as you move through your life. When we have an experience that comes into us, Viktor Frankl says that there is a gap between stimulus and response, and we need to focus on that space. And most of us don't even know there's a space. I know for me, for years, when an experience came into my nervous system, I'd be reacting like this, and sometimes I still do, because those are unhealed wounds. In the Eastern religions, such as Hindu, and in Sanskrit, they call them samskaras or sankaras, which means blockages, and those blockages are fear. And so what Michael Singer talks about, the author of The Untethered Soul and the Surrender Experiment, he asks us to start observing ourselves, observing what's in front of us, because that's who we really are. We are an awareness. And when we dip into our survival mode, we don't even realize we're doing it. And we start reacting and attacking people because of our childhood wounds and because we feel threatened. And I'm going to tell you that most of us are not in a threatened immediate moment right now. In this moment, I ask you, if you're sitting in front of if I'm sitting in front of you right now, you are not feeling threatened. You are in a good place, right? I have 1,200 people right now who are really good where they are. Now, I don't know about the rest of society, but I'm hoping that you're going to hear what I have to say. This week, I had the opportunity to practice this. I had set a boundary with someone I know that I love very dearly, and she didn't like it. And she sent me this really long text that was filled with coercion and fear and manipulation and shame and guilt and control. And the first time I read it, I was like, I could feel the sensations in my body because I know them really well from my childhood. And so what I did was practice presence and observation, and I sat with the feelings, and I felt the sensations in my body and how they tingled and where they were located. And I just kept breathing in and out and loving that part of me, saying, okay, you're okay. It's okay. You're not in trouble right now. It's okay. This is just how she is. It's okay. This is not about you. It's okay. You are okay. You are safe. And this is what I'm telling myself the entire time. And until I calmed my nervous system down and I felt okay, then I could respond to her with kindness and love. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is not an easy process. It's a difficult one, and it takes a lot of practice, because I've been doing this for a long time. And what I do typically, and what I'm going to encourage you to do, is when something happens and it comes into your experience, not to react, but just keep your mouth shut if you don't have time to process it, if you don't have time to sit with those feelings and emotions in your body. And I want to say that emotions, Candace Pert, who was an author back in the 90s, and she worked at the National Institute of Mental Health in the United States, she says that emotions are energy in motion. So there's this incoherent energy within you, like going like this, and it's familiar to you. And so it's your job, not anybody else's job, to calm yourself down. Now, if you need extra help, please call a safe person that can help you manage your emotions and give you that safety. But in reality, this belongs to you. And so what all the teachings are saying is that we do not have to react to what's in front of us if we take care of ourselves first. Today, I am reading from Each Day a New Beginning, February 8th, and it inspired me today. We must learn how to react. Sorry, let me try that again. We must learn how to act, not to react. Unfortunately, we've had lots of training at reacting, and we're all such good imitators. We are a society of reactors. Just turn on the news. We let the good or the bad behavior of another person determine our own behavior as a matter of course. In other words, you're giving your power away. But the opportunities are limited. The opportunities are unlimited for us to responsibly choose our behavior independent of all others in our life. And this is the most important work you can do, I promise. Change is ours if we want it. A scowl from a spouse need not make us feel rejected. Criticism at work doesn't have to ruin our day. An inconsiderate bus driver might still be politely thanked. And when we decide for ourselves just how we want to act and follow through, our self-esteem soars. I can't tell you how many times I've regretted things that come out of my mouth and the cleanup that had to come after. If we are put down, if we feel put down, it may momentarily create self-doubt, but when we quickly reassure ourselves that all is well and respond with respect, even if you don't think they deserve it, we grow. A sense of well-being rushes through our bodies. Being in command of our own feelings and our own actions prevents that free-floating anxiety from grasping us. We are who we choose to be. And new adventures await us. The opportunities to react will be many today, I promise, but each day and each time I can pause, determine the action I'd feel better about, and take it. My emotional health gets a booster shot each time I make a responsible choice. And what this reading is saying is that if we are in reactivity, we are being irresponsible. But if you can respond, you're being responsible. And your life will get better when you start changing the way you are being in the world. What you think, how you feel, and how you show up in the world is entirely on you, has nothing to do with anybody else. If you like this kind of content, please like, subscribe, and I would love if you put in a comment below something, if this resonated with you. I want you to tell me if this is something you can actually do, and if so, can you let me know if you're going to do it, because the world needs you right now. The world needs your love, not your condemnation. I love you.